everyone. I heard some people in game talking about having a hard time with learning the crime system and how to easily get all the ranks in the Ledger Domain, Thieves Guild, and Dark Brotherhood. I wanted to do a quick video sharing what I know and how I make some reasonable money and breeze through the criminal guild ranks in ESO. This is mostly geared towards newer players. If you've already maxed out criminal stuff in ESO, it's probably nothing new. You can do all the thieving and murdering with your normal gear you use for PvE, but if you want to make it easier, there are a few steps you can take. You can keep a special set of armor and jewelry for doing thieving. Personally, I like to run the Dark Stride and the Mother's Embrace to make me less noticeable and also able to sneak almost forever without running out of stamina. Both these sets are really cheap and easy to get from the guild stores. Also, I think that they look pretty cool and they even match. In my opinion, the best way to up your thieving game is to become a vampire. What this does is allows you to sneak very fast. Also, at stage 4 of being a vampire, you will become a blood mist, and then you can just kind of invisibly sprint past all the enemies and guards, except for the enemies with torches. The blood mist, honestly, it makes playing a sneaky character really easy. You can run through a whole delve by just getting the shard and then only killing the boss and blood mist past everything else. I always stay at stage 2 vampire for PvP and dungeons, stage 4 vampire for questing and thieving. Being a vampire also gives you a long range sneak attack. This is super useful. If you want to become a vampire, you don't need to pay the crowns. You can just ask in zone chat. Someone will generally do it for you. You can manage your vampire levels with corrupting and purifying bloody maras. You can make them yourself if you have the recipe, but if you don't have the recipe, you can buy them from the guild stores. There's a fountain you can get for your house that lets you just lower your vampire level whenever you want. If you don't have one of those, it's kind of expensive, but if you have a friend, you can use theirs, or you can join a vampire guild. The best way to raise your vampire level if you don't have the corrupting Mara is just to do it the fun way. Next, we're going to talk about how you can make money and stuff. All throughout the game, you can find things to steal. Sometimes it's in public. Sometimes it's places you have to break into. You can also murder people and loot their bodies or pickpocket people. As you explore, there's locked chests and thieves' troves. Pickpocketing and opening the troves and chests and opening any lock raises your ledger domain skill directly. With stealing and murdering, you have to fence the goods before it raises your skill. Pickpocketing is pretty simple, but it's pretty hard to do reliably until you get some skill. But in general, you can remember which NPCs are easier to steal from. People who are drunk in taverns and people who are watching performers or distracted are generally going to be the easiest people with the highest success percentages. Going on killing sprees and murdering for stolen loot can make you some good money, but only if you can avoid getting a bounty. In general, the goal of the crime system is to never get a bounty or get caught. If you're constantly getting bounties, it's gonna cut into the money you make from stealing stuff. After you get all your hard-won loot, you can sell it to the fence. in the outlaw outpost. Also, if you're a stage 4 vampire, the merchant and the banker in the outlaw outpost will actually talk to you. Because a lot of times the merchants won't talk to you if you're stage 4. Early on with your fence, there's going to be a cap of how much you can do per day. So early on, I never fence anything unless it's worth at least like 100 or more. But after you sink some skill points into it, the cap gets so high, you kind of don't have to worry about it anymore. An important thing that to remember with the fence is that there's an achievement you get for fencing 100,000, but it has to be to the same fence. So it's best to choose a favorite fence and fence only to them. If you enjoy the criminal system in ESO, the first DLC packs you may want to invest in are Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild. This is going to unlock 2 new areas with 2 new guilds and 2 new skill lines to help with your thieving. Personally, I don't find the skill trees as useful to spin skills in as the original Ledger Domain in the base game, but if you have some spare skill points, they can be fun. And the Dark Brotherhood gives you a sneak attack that lets you instantly kill many NPCs. The best part of this content is getting to do the stealing and assassin-centered story missions. It really fleshes out the original criminal system in the base game. Most of the play in these guilds is kind of repetitive. It involves grinding daily quests and then repeatable heist or assassin missions until you level up to unlock the next story mission. If you go to the zone where they start off, you can often ask players to share the daily quest with you if you've already done it. A lot of people just do that and just grind the daily quest. In general, if you have the dedicated criminal equipment and stage 4 vampirism in the Blood Mist, you can sprint through almost all of it pretty easily. From the Thieves Guild quest, you get these counterfeit pardons to reduce your bounty without paying gold. For this reason, I find it very convenient to do the Thieves Guild first. Then you have a bunch of counterfeit pardons for when you are assassinating people. It's kind of harder to assassinate people without getting a bounty sometimes. And you're going to have to assassinate a whole lot of people before you finish all the assassin quests. If you're just trying to make money with the criminal system, the best way to do that is to do thieving runs. You can do it pretty easily in any city where there's a whole bunch of places to break in and containers. But most people say the best stealing is to be done in the Somerset Islands and in Blackwood and Leeuwin. In general, if you want an easy time, you should do thieving runs in places that have an outlaw outpost, so you can fence stuff really quickly and take care of any bounties. If you're a free-to-play player doing the base game, you're going to want to do this in any large city with an outlaw outpost, but almost all the expansion packs will give you better loot for doing thieving. So if you have an expansion pack, you want to just go there for your thieving. Sometimes whenever another player catches you being a menace to society, they're going to try to fight you and be the freaking hero. When that happens, you should absolutely indulge them, because moments like that are some of the most fun you're ever going to have in an MMORPG. Sometimes you get stuck with a bounty and you didn't got no pardons. When that happens, it's good to know which shrine you can go to that has easy access to the outlaw outpost. That way you can just teleport and then run straight in and sell your goods not have to worry about any guards. My favorite place to do this is in Vivek City. But pretty much all the cities with outlaw outposts are going to have an entrance on the outside of the city. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really like the crime system in ESO, and I like doing it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned something new that you can find helpful. Not many MMORPGs even have a crime system, and I think it's really fun. The most valuable thing that you really want to watch out for that you can get from stealing is sometimes you'll find motifs and crafting recipes. And if you find one of these that looks valuable, you might want to actually look it up. You could potentially sell it to players for a lot more than the fence will give you. Anyway, I hope that you have fun living your best criminal life in Elder Scrolls Online. Maybe I'll even see you there. Thank you, everyone.